are a beast. You are a beast. You are a processing beast. What do I mean by that? We're going to talk some statistics today. Did you guys know that in 2014 and 2015, in those 2 years, there was as much data created as 2003 and every year before that, from the beginning of time. Beginning of time, 2003, all this data, 2014, 2015, that much data was created in 2 years. That's crazy, you guys. Think about that. How overwhelming that is that we're exposed to that much data every single day. And you know what? You're keeping up. That's what's super awesome is that you have all this information. Your brain is like super mega computer and it just keeps going and going and going. In 1 minute every day, Pinterest users pin 3,472 images. 1 minute. YouTube users, in 1 minute, YouTube uploads 72 hours of new videos. Email users send 204 million messages. Google receives over 4 million searches. Facebook users share 2,460,000 pieces of content. Twitter users tweet 277,000 times. Instagram users post 216,000 new photos. Oh, this is a good one. Amazon makes $83,000 every minute. Pandora listeners listen to 61,141 hours of music every minute. Vine users share 8,333 videos. Apple users download 48,000 apps every minute. So, has anybody here ever felt overwhelmed? I mean, I know it's not the most normal feeling anymore, but you ever feel overwhelmed? I think it's common, and we've always, since the history of time, people have felt overwhelmed. And that's normal, you know. Back in the day, it was like, I must harvest crops, and I must make food for family, and I must kill buffalo, or whatever it is, There was legit to-do lists. And now we do have those moments where we have to-do lists, and it's like, it's finals. You're going to feel overwhelmed. There is no two ways about that. That's going to happen. It might be that there's a big project due at work, and it's your daughter's birthday that you have to get the party ready for, and it's your son's soccer tournament that you offered to make cookies for, and you're overwhelmed. And there's like legit feelings of being overwhelmed. But now we're in this day and age where we get overwhelmed, and we look at our to-do list, and we go, but that doesn't make sense. I don't have enough on my to-do list to explain this thing in my head where I feel like I can't breathe and I feel like I'm so far behind, but there's not. But then we look at our email inbox and we're like, oh, there's all these emails that I didn't read, but I know they'll be good for me to read because I should read them because all this information has been processed. I go on to the Yahoo page to log into my email and I see there's all these news articles that I should read. Or if I log into Twitter, there's all these news articles I should be keeping up with. Or there's these videos, these training videos that I know I should watch and they'd make me better at what I'm doing, but I haven't gotten time there, but I'm going to, in the back of my head, I'll do that. I'll do that sometime. Well, that's why we're overwhelmed. No wonder we don't even give ourselves credit for the fact that we have these on our not to-do list, but to-do list. So it's just kind of like creeping back there, like, yeah, you should do this. This will make you a better person, but it's not really, you can't qualify that as a to-do list. And so it's just chilling back there, stressing us out. And if you think that's not bad, grab your cell phone and look at those apps and see all the little, I know on iPhone, it's a little red little circle with a number. And I think on Samsung, it's a white circle with a number, and it tells you you're not paying enough attention to me, and there's stuff that happened on Facebook that you haven't seen yet, and it's really important because it's like actually towards you, or somebody commented on a thing that you commented on, and how have you not paid attention to this? And then there's one on Twitter that tells you that you've missed out on things on Twitter, and then you get a notification that somebody's live on Pandora, oh goodness gracious, Periscope, which Grady's kind of obsessed with. But you have all of these apps, and yes, you don't feel like they're a priority, but in the back of your mind, they're like, hey, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. And even if the notice isn't up there, there's still that feeling that, okay, I'm not on Facebook. What has been updated on Facebook? What's out there that I haven't paid attention to? What if my friend announces that she's pregnant and I miss it? And then I see her and I don't say anything to her about the fact that she's pregnant. Or what if I miss out on Twitter and people are subtweeting about something that's going on and I don't know? And then I become the joke. For anybody who doesn't know what subtweeting is, it's just a horrible, awful, just depressing thing that happens nowadays. Unless there's positives. Is there positive subtweeting? I hope there's. Anyways, so we have this, there's all this information that's constantly being built that constantly we're supposed to keep up with, which we never in a million, gajillion years could ever keep up with. I mean, I could pull these stats back out again, but you're not going to watch how many hours on YouTube that are created? Like 72 hours of YouTube created every minute. You can't keep up with that. So, I don't just want to point out the horrible. I want to point out the good. I want to give you guys 3 things real quick that I want you to take away from this. Number 1, and as I told you before, I'm very pro-teenager. I love teenagers. I think they're ridiculously genius, and we keep tearing them down, not paying attention to them. But think about where teenagers are these days. They live in a day and age where all of this information comes to them every day. Now, back in my day, we passed around notes and we folded them really cool. Does anybody remember that? Or does it tell you how old I am? We'd handwrite notes and then we'd fold them really cool and pass them to each other. And you could never have enough notes and you always wanted people to pass you notes. Could you imagine somebody passing you a note and you didn't even read it? And you're like, oh, I'm sure it's probably not that important. And they weren't. I mean, I don't think I ever received, I pulled my old notes out once and I was like, wow, this is really all we wrote about. And that's where we were, but we devoured notes from one another. And then when MySpace came out, I'm guilty of this. I loved MySpace. I was like, this is so cool. And so we've created the world, we meaning my generation created the world where the social media was such a huge deal. And now we have teenagers that live in that world. I mean, they can get notes, their Twitter posts, their Facebook feeds, their Instagram photos all day, every day. So of course they're going to be interested in it. We would have been interested in it. We're the one that created the desire for it. I mean, I don't know about you. I wasn't on the BBC website wow, I really hope I get to know the best news that's out there. No, I wanted what was going on with my friends. So, number 1, I want you to have more patience with teenagers, and I want you to stand in awe of them. When you meet a teenager, you need to look at them and be like, holy cow, I cannot believe at your age you're keeping up with all your information from school and all the information you process. Do you guys want to hear one more amazing statistic that this one just blew my mind? And this one's from 2013, and I guarantee you that there's a newer stat out there. I just couldn't find it. That is that we are exposed to 153 newspapers worth of information every day. 153 newspapers every single day. That's how much information we are all exposed to. Can you imagine that? I mean, some of us that are well, yeah, we work. So every day we have to learn work things. But can you imagine as a student, here's all your school books and then here's Twitter and then it's just crazy. So first of all, I want you to have patience with teenagers. I want you to stand in awe of them because they're not just reading textbooks. They are getting all this information at their age as well. That's number 1. Number 2, I want you to have patience with yourself because when you feel overwhelmed, I want you to stop and go, well, no crap, of course I'm overwhelmed. My to-do list might not make me feel overwhelmed. I might not have things that I have to do. Take time to write that down and go, wow, these are all these emails I have. No wonder I feel overwhelmed. These are the YouTube videos I want to watch. This is my Facebook that feels acknowledge the fact that you legitimately do have a ton of data to get through every single day. And lastly, I'm going to give you homework, and that is to clear the noise. Little by little, piece by piece. I'm not going to tell you to go take every app off of your phone today because you'll just put it on in 3 days. I understand that. But just slowly through your day, go, you know what? I'm not going to get to that email. It might be good information. It's not ridiculously important to me. I'm going to delete that email. It's okay. I can delete that email. This information is going to show up over and over and over again. Look through your apps and you might go, you know what? Yeah, I have this app. It's really not that vital to me. The information I get on there, it doesn't apply to me. So I'm going to get rid of it. I'll tell you, my guilty pleasure is iFunny. I love iFunny. It has nothing to do with me, and most of it's extremely negative, but it literally just sucks time out of my life. And then it's like, well, we're coming up with the new features later, so you better come back at this exact time. No, I don't have time for that. And then even on like Facebook, go through and block people that they're not relevant to you. If they're posting negative stuff and they're posting stuff that just it literally doesn't matter to you, but you're like, I don't want to unfriend them. Well, you can just say like, I don't need to see their posts because every day when they tell me what they ate for breakfast, I don't need to know it. It's okay, you guys. Start clearing the noise out because you deserve to just see what you need to know. Choose different landing pages. You know, if you go on Yahoo every morning and it's like news and you don't want to see it, go to Google. Google's fantastic because you want to search Google, it's just a Google bar, and then you're not getting all that stuff fed to you. Make sense? Because you deserve it. Gosh darn it. You deserve a life full of, free of clutter and noise, and just what you want and what you personally invite into your life. Okay, I love you guys. I want you to understand you guys are a processing beast, and that is one of the million gajillion reasons that I love you just the way you are.